Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and this is your friend and brother, Prophet Harrison Chileshe Jr., bringing restorations in your homes. God is going to bless you, God is going to touch you, and your life will never be the same again. I want to talk to someone out there who wants to give up on life. I want to talk to someone out there who has given up on life, who has given up on marriage, who has given up on ministry, on business, on children, to say your children cannot change. No, I've come to bring a topic to you to say, don't give up. Whatever you're doing, don't give up. Because if you give up, there's no hope that tomorrow it will become better. But if you don't give up, there's definitely hope that something tomorrow will change. Most people have given up due to the discouragements we have gone through. So I'm talking about don't give up. 2 Chronicles chapter 15 verse 7, Good News Translation. 2 Chronicles chapter 15 verse 7 says, but you must be strong and not be discouraged. The Bible is saying, but you must be strong and not be discouraged. The work that you do will be rewarded. The work that you do will be rewarded. Most people feel discouraged and they give up. Some of you have prayed for 1 week, things have not happened, and you have given up. No, come on. Some of you have been trying to apply. I know a person who had applied 900 times, but the 901 time he was called for a bigger job overseas. Some of you have only applied 20 times, you have given up, and they don't call you. Don't give up, because if you give up, you won't be rewarded. Here the Bible says, 2 Chronicles 15 verse 7, Good News says, but you must be strong, number 1. Number 2, don't be discouraged. And the Bible says the work that you do will be rewarded. Henry Ford from America, the one who created the V8, when you hear VX, V8, a car V8, was created by Henry Ford. Now, when Henry Ford told his company to say, let's create a V8, all the technicians, the mechanics, the engineers, the inventors told him that it is impossible. You can't create, a car cannot have V8, this side 4 cylinders and this side 4 cylinders. They refused, but he said no, it can be done. He went to consult from all the people in the world. They refused. They said it's not possible. The highest engine block we can have is a 4 cylinders. But guess what? He broke record. He never gave up. And today we have V8 cars because Henry Ford never gave up. Henry Ford never gave up. If you look at the famous blind man, the famous singer, Ray Charles. Ray Charles lost his sight when he was young due to glaucoma. But if you search or you just say Ray Charles, he's very famous. His songs are all over. But he was a blind man. He wasn't born blind. Sickness made him blind. But even if sickness made him blind, he still never gave up on life. Why should you give up on life? A blind man has made it, is famous. How about you who can see? Again, if you look at Stevie Wonder, Stevie Wonder was born prematurely. He was born prematurely. And that premature birth made him to be blind. But Umuntu can play keyboard. Umuntu is a famous musician. He's a millionaire. Now, if a person who's born blind has made out something out of his life, how about you who can see, who's got 2 hands, who's got 2 legs, and you're giving up on life? Come on, Naimwe. You know, this habit of us telling us, no, our village people, my uncle is a witch. No, let me tell you, hard work overcomes witchcraft. Because the more you are consistent in doing something, in praying, God will set you free. If that's not enough, we are the person, people will say it's in America. So he was famous because Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles was in America. Let me come to Zambia. Peter Kalumba. Most of you know Peter Kalumba. Most of you. But some people are saying, who's Peter Kalumba? Peter Kalumba is also known as PK Chishala. PK stands for Peter Kalumba. PK Chishala was born okay. He was okay. PK Chishala is the one who invented the Kalindula. In our music industry, he was a pioneer and is a legend. He has done songs like Pole Pole, Chileshe, Musonda, Lutuku, many songs, all of you know, and these are songs that never fade. He's considered one of the greatest musicians Zambia has ever produced. But he wasn't born blind. He wasn't born blind, this guy. It's sickness that blinded him. Because PK Chishala struggled a lot with smallpox. And smallpox made him to become blind. But even if he's blind, he still said, I'll still be one of the veterans in Zambia. But some of you, you've got your eyes, you can see, but you don't want to do something out of your life. What's wrong with you? I came to tell you, today I'm not a prophet. Today I'm an evangelist. I've come to tell you to say, don't give up on life. PK Chishala, Zambian musician, never gave up. He's a legend. Then me who's able to see, I fail. It's impossible. I can't. This guy was born okay. Sickness deformed him, but he still made it. Look at Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. Galatians chapter 6, good news says, so let us not become tired of doing good. For if we do not give up, the time will come when we will reap the harvest. Most of you have given up on business because someone scammed you. Most of you have given up on marriage because someone disappointed you. You must be disappointed. You see, most people give up on life. Why should you give up? As long as you're still alive, you're breathing, there's chance that you can make it. There's big chance that you can make it. The Bible is saying, let us not be tired of doing good. Colossians 6:9, good news. For if we do not give up, the time will come. So the time is not told when it will come, but it will surely come. But most of you, you give up and you kill yourself. Why are you killing yourself? And you think you go, even if we preach on your funeral to say, God forgive this one, it won't work, you go to hell. Cursed is every man who hangs himself, who takes his own life. You don't give up on life. Look at Thomas Edison, the one who created this bulb, that bulb in your house. Do you know how many times he did it? He did 1,000 times. He tried 1,000 times. The 1,001 is the one that made the bulb to light up. Now people are asking him, why didn't you give up? And he said the 1,000 times was teaching me on how not to do it. Why you are failing? Why a person is coming to disappoint you? Maybe there are things you do, you sleep with them, or business you entrust people. They are teaching you on what not to do. But the whole point, you must not give up. Thomas Edison, created a bulb. Some of you have not even tried 10 times. Some of you have not even tried 20 times. Some of you have not even tried 50 times. But this guy tried 1,000 times. If that's not enough, if you look at Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was the president of the United States in 1933 to 1945. Roosevelt. But guess what? He was born okay, but sickness crippled him. Because Roosevelt was the 32nd president of the United States. And you must understand that not only did he serve as a president, he served 4 terms. 4 terms. He was also the first president with disability, on a wheelchair. The first president to break protocol. When he was born okay. Sickness crippled him. Even when sickness crippled him, he started to tell people, I'll be president. People refused. He said, no, we can't have a president who's lame. Now you think because you are in a wheelchair, you can't make it. You think because you have got walking crutches, you can't make it. You think because of that predicament you can't see, you can't make it. It's a lie. Bunangani. We've got PK Chishala, a blind man. Roosevelt, who became a president of America. Imagine America for Yashupa. He becomes a president. Your predicament doesn't tell you you are disabled. Disability is in your mind. Because I see people who are disabled, they've got hands, they've got legs, but they beg. That is disability. But I've seen people on a wheelchair, they are doing businesses. I see people who've got crutches, they are musicians, they are singing. So disability is in your mind. Disability is not what we see. Look at people who have made it in life. There are people who have made it in life who are in wheelchair, who are blind. I've been a PK Chishala. Roosevelt, who was in a wheelchair. Why should you give up on life? Because yesterday you failed. Try again. Because as long as you are trying, one day the Bible says you will make it. Now, if you are just giving up on life, you'll be a failure. Because you're not a failure. You've got a pastor in America, Pastor Nick. Pastor Nick doesn't have hands. He doesn't have hands and he doesn't have legs. Just search for Pastor Nick. Most of you have got smartphones. Some of you don't even know him. He's married. He's got 4 daughters. He's got children. But he doesn't have hands. He doesn't have legs. His church is very unique. Just say Pastor Nick. Pastor Nick. You will see him. He's got a big church in America of more than 20,000 people. Now, if a person who doesn't have hands, doesn't have legs, he can be a successful preacher. You've got legs, you've got eyes, you can read the Bible, you've got everything. Why should you fail? It's because you are giving up. Because if you give up on life, you will not succeed. Even Joseph never gave up. I'll show you in the Bible. Because if Joseph gave up, remember, Joseph was betrayed by his own family. The same brothers he was born with in the family are the ones who sold him, are the ones who wanted him dead. Some of you, it's your own relatives who have been scandalizing you, who have spoiled your marriage, who have spoiled your business, because they don't want you to succeed. Because your enemy are from your household, as the Bible says. Why should you give up on life? But did he become successful at 17? No. Some of you have received prophetic word that you'll be successful. Let me tell you, I was prophesied to that I'll become a prophet when I was 12 years old. I've become, actually 10 years, I've become a prophet when there's 25 plus to 30 years plus. That's when the prophecy has been fulfilled. Now you want it. We give you a prophecy to say you'll be successful. And you want money to come today. No, you must endure. Because Joseph was 17 years when God told him that you'll be a great man. But he never gave up. He never gave up. You see? Now, let me show you. We'll read Joseph. Genesis chapter 37. Genesis chapter 37 verse 5 says, I'll read from American King James. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brother. They hated him yet more. So Joseph had a dream. Verse 6 says, and he said to him, that is Genesis 37 verse 6, and he said to them, hear I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. Verse 7, for behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and see, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood around about, and made obeisance to my sheaf. Meaning, my sheaf, yachi meaning, you were bowing down to me. Verse 8 says, and his brothers said to him, shall you indeed reign over us, or shall you indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams. They hated him yet more for his dreams and for his words. Verse 8, Genesis 37 verse 9. Genesis 37 verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brothers. Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars were made obeisance to me. Meaning, the sun and the moon, the father and the mother, and his 11 brothers will bow down to me. Now, verse 10 says, and he told to his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him. His father rebuked him and said, what is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow down ourselves to the earth? Verse 11, and his brothers envied him, but his father observed the same. Verse 11 says, and his brothers envied him, but his father observed the saying. So his father observed the saying to say, me and my wife, are we going to bow down to Joseph? Some of you, God has shown you things, and you told people, and they laughed at you. That's why sometimes keep quiet about what God has told you and what you have been prophesied to. Because this guy said, God told him to say, they will come and kneel down to you. Some of you people must come and kneel down to you. It's not pride. That's the way it is. Because you are a Joseph of your family. We'll jump to verse 18, the same Genesis 37, verse 18. So, when his brothers went somewhere, his father sent Joseph to take some food to them. Now, a person who's taking their food to them, what happened to them? Look at this. And when he saw him afar, even before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him, to slay him, meaning to kill him. Verse 19, and they said to one another, behold, this dreamer comes. Verse 20, come now there, let us slay him, and cast him into the pit. And we will say, some evil beast have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. So, his own brothers conspired. He's taking food to them, but their brothers conspired to say, this one is a dreamer. You were saying you'll be a pastor. You were saying you'll be a millionaire. You were saying you'll be a doctor. Let's kill him. Most people have been killed by their own relatives. But today it came to tell you to say, don't give up. Because Joseph never gave up. If Joseph gave up, he wasn't going to be a prime minister. He wasn't going to save the family. Now, if you give up, it's you who's going to kill your family. Because the family, a time will come, the family will totally depend on you. Now, Joseph was sold by his brother. First they put him in the pit and they sold him. He became a slave by his own brother. And you think when your father is talking about you, your mother is talking against you, your brothers hate you, you think it's normal. No, it's because you are the Joseph of your family. Don't even cry. Be happy and know that one day they are going to come to kneel down to you. Now we'll jump. Let's go to Genesis chapter 41, verse 14 says, when first this guy suffered, what happened? When he suffered, I'll tell you. He suffered. Imagine when he was sold as a slave. He suffered for 13 years. Now, imagine they tell you you'll be great, but 13 years passes. Some of you can't even wait, even for 3 weeks. Some of you even fail to wait, even for three months. You give up on God. This guy, for 13 years, he had to be in prison. He had to suffer. He had to be tortured. 13 years is not a joke. It's not a joke. He suffered 13 years. Some of you even failed to pray for 3 days. You give up. But this guy had to wait for 13 years. But what happened? He saved his family. Look at Genesis chapter 41 verse 14 says, then Pharaoh sent and caught Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself and checked his remnant and came in to Pharaoh. And verse 15 says, Genesis 41:15, and Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you that you can understand the dream. Now, during these 13 years, God was preparing him. Some of you don't want preparation. You just want to reap. You have started in ministry. You want to have crowds. You have started in ministry. You want to obtain protocols. You have just started in ministry. You want to start enjoying. You have just started in business. You want to yield in capital. God was preparing him. Now, he went through false accusation, disappointments. He had to work in prison. God was in his waiting. God was waiting for him to be perfected so that one day he becomes a king. But one thing Joseph did was he never gave up. 13 years, he never gave up. He went in prison, he never gave up. Now look at this. Genesis 41 verse 30. And Pharaoh said to his servant, can we find such as one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? Verse 41, verse 39. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, for as much as God has shown you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you are. Verse 40. You shall be over my house, according to your words shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. Verse 41. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. I have set you over the land of all Egypt. Verse 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in his clothing of his fine linen, and put gold chain round about his neck. Verse 43. And he made him to ride in the second chariot in which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knees, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. Now, his brothers refused, that we can't bow down to you. His father and mother the father observed, but they refused. They even told him off. But what happened? Did they bow down? 13 years down the line. Now, some of you, you don't know how many years God is preparing you for. If you think that your friend, it took 6 months, and you want it to take 6 months, destiny is very different. You shouldn't give up. You might be on that wheelchair. It doesn't mean God has neglected you. No. Roosevelt became a president. Mr. Trump became president at 75. 8 years, he retired. But Obama became president at 50. 55, he retired. So 85, again, after 5 years passes, Mr. Trump again goes back as a president. Now some of you, how many of you are 75 years out there? That's when he became first. As we speak, he's 85. Still more umuntu at 85. Again he becomes president. How many of you are 85? If you look at KFC, Kentucky, KFC, the chicken, Colonel Sanders, at 65 years, that's when he started to make his chicken. 65 years, that's when he created KFC. At 80 years, that's when he became rich. How many of you are 8 years? You are only 40 years, 45. Na tukula penshi mukulire. Mwira ikotesha mwe bantu bakwa Jehovah. You give up early. Don't give up early. 65 someone, that's when he starting a company. 8 years he becomes rich. Some of you are only 50 years. You haven't achieved anything and you think it's too late. It's not too late. Some of you are 45 years. You haven't gone to school and you think it's too late. It's not too late. You can still improve yourself. The only problem is that you are giving up on life when you are not supposed to give up. Some of you have been doing ministry for 5 years and tafira Peter, and you think you are a failure. Who tells you are a failure? You are not a failure. Because even Abraham, in Romans 4:19, the Bible says, Romans chapter 4 verse 19, he did not weaken in faith when he considered the outer importance of his own body, which was as good as dead, because he was about 100 years old. Or when he considered the barrenness of Sarah, dead womb. Verse 20, that is Romans 4:20. No unbelief or distrust made him waver, doubtfully unquestionable, that is amplified, concerning the promises of God. But he grew stronger and was empowered by faith, and he gave praise and glory. So, concerning the promises of God, Abraham never gave up. Abraham, this man, the father of faith, waited for 25 years. You just within 6 months and you give up. 1 year in marriage, you give up to say Neshfiala. Who tells you? Father Abraham had to wait for 25 years. You have been doing ministry for 10 years and nothing is moving. Continue. You have been doing business for 5 years, nothing is moving. Continue. You are a blind man. Start to do something. You can sing. You can do poetry. How did Mr. PK Chishala become the legend of Zambian music? In America, Roosevelt, how did he become a president on a wheelchair? So, if you give up in life, it just means you are a failure. And you are lazy. Because if you don't give up, one day things will be okay. Joseph never gave up, even when they sold him to his brothers. Abraham had to wait for 25 years to become to have a child of promise. 25 years. Some of you I'm not even yet 25 years and you have given up on life. Come on. Joseph had to be imprisoned, caged for 13 years. He was a slave in prison, but he became the prince. Some of you, God has put bigger destinies in you. Don't give up on life. I came to encourage you, not as a prophet, but as a pastor, as an evangelist, to tell you to say that you can't fail. If you fail, then you have given up. Someone trying a bulb for 1,000 times. How many times have you tried that business? Me, I'm not going to give up until fika pite, until fika chite. One day, it will only takes 1 day for your life to change. It took 1 day for someone to become a president. It took 1 day for someone to be famous. Don't give up on life. I've given you scriptures. I've told you people have never failed. I've told you people don't have hands and legs, they are successful. How about you? Don't give up. The problem is mulana kabwangu. And more especially if you're a believer, continue praying. Don't give up. Me to tell you the truth, I won't give up until you've catched it. I won't give up until the whole world listens to me. Not just Zambia and neighboring countries. Until the whole world watches me on TV. I won't give up. Because I, Prophet Chileshe Jr., Prophet Harrison Chileshe Jr., the spiritual son to Dr. Professor Harrison Chileshe Sr., will not give up until the world listens to me. Until the world is delivered. Until people are reached to the hands of the world. You might disagree because you have given up. These others waited for 13 years. Joseph, Abraham for 25 years. Whatever it takes, I will wait. If a president at 75 years, Trump becomes a president, now he's 85 years, he's still a president. Why should I give up when I'm only in my entering 40s? I can't give up. May God bless you. I came to provoke you. I told you this message is not for everyone. It's for someone out there who wants to give up. It's for someone who's going through problems out there. It's for someone who's afflicted. Don't give up. God bless you. Shalom and bye-bye for now. Stay blessed.